I strolled into the clinic, expecting nothing more than a standard, routine checkup. The atmosphere was familiar and clinical. Yet I felt an unexpected thrill in the air, hinting at something unusual just beneath the surface. The clinic was a mundane place, filled with the antiseptic scent of cleaning supplies and the distant murmur of voices echoing down the hall. As I entered the sterile exam room, a flutter of anticipation gripped me. I had always dreaded these routine checkups, but today felt different when the nurse walked in. I was momentarily taken aback. She was stunning early 20s, with deep brown eyes that sparkled with mischief, and a smile that warmed the cold. "Clinical space, hi there." "I'm Mia," she said. Her voice's soft melody that wrapped around me. "I'll be taking care of you today." As she began her preliminary checks, I couldn't help but notice the way her fingers brushed against my skin. Each light touch sent a jolt of electricity through me, igniting a tension that simmered just beneath the surface. She moved gracefully around the room, her focus on her tasks, but every time her gaze met mine, I felt the weight of unspoken words hanging in the air between us. "Everything looks good so far," she said, her eyes lingering on me a moment longer than necessary. "Just a few more things to check." I nodded, my heart racing. "Sure, I'm ready." Mia stepped closer, her body mirror inches from mine. The air thickened with an unspoken desire, and I could feel the heat radiating. "Offer, I need you to take off your shirt for the next part," she instructed, her tone calm, yet laced with something deeper. I hesitated, caught off guard by the intimacy of her request. But I did as she asked as I peeled off my shirt. Her eyes roamed over my skin, a spark of something dangerous flickering between us. "You have nothing to be nervous about," she said, her voice is soothing. "Bomb, yeah." "I guess it is," I replied, trying to play it cool, but my voice betrayed me. "Thick with tension, just relax," she said softly, leaning in closer. Her breath warm against my ear. The proximity made my heart race even faster, and I could feel the weight of her gaze on me. With a sudden burst of confidence, I leaned closer, our lips just a breath apart. "What if I don't want to relax?" I whispered, the words escaping before I could think them through. Her breath hitched, and for a moment, the world outside faded away. She held my gaze, her eyes darkening with desire. "Then maybe we shouldn't," she replied, her voice low and sultry in one swift movement. I closed the distance between us, capturing her lips with mine. The kiss was tentative at first, a question hanging in the air. But as she melted against me, it ignited into something passionate and electric. Her hands found their way to my hair, pulling me closer. As our mouths moved together in perfect harmony, Mia's lips traveled from my mouth to my neck, leaving a trail of soft kisses that made me gasp. "We shouldn't be doing this," she murmured against my skin. But there was no conviction in her words, only longing. "Then why can't we stop?" I replied, my hands roaming down her back, feeling the curves of her body beneath her uniform. She paused, her breath warm against me. "Because it feels too good," she admitted, her eyes glinting with mischief. With a soft smile, I captured her lips again, this time with more urgency. Our kisses were filled with hunger, a desperate need that only grew stronger. With each touch, I felt her fingers grip my shoulders as she pressed her body against mine, our connection deepening in ways I had never imagined. "I've been waiting for someone like you," she confessed breathlessly between kisses, her hands exploring my chest. "Someone who isn't afraid to take a chance." "Then let's take that chance," I replied, my voice thick with desire. Her lips curled into a smile as she kissed me again, more passionately this time. I could feel her excitement mingling with my own, each kiss drawing us deeper into the moment. My hands found her waist, pulling her tighter against me. Unable to resist the pull between us, Mia looked up at me, her eyes shimmering with mischief. "Are you sure you want to do this?" she asked, her voice barely above a whisper. But I could see the desire swirling in her gaze. I nodded, my breath hitching as I caught her eye. "Absolutely, with that." She pressed her body against mine, her lips crashing into mine again. The kiss was urgent, her hand slipping beneath the hem of my pants, fingers brushing against my skin with a tantalizing touch. The sensation sent a rush of heat through me, and I instinctively leaned into her, wanting more. "Just relax," she murmured against my lips, her breath warm as she lowered herself, her fingers definitely working on the button of my pants. The gentle tug of the fabric sent shivers of anticipation through me. I could hardly breathe, my pulse racing as she slowly unzipped me, her gaze never leaving mine. "I never thought I'd find this here," I managed to say, my voice thick with desire. "Neither did I," she admitted, her fingers now slipping inside. Brushing against me, the contact was electric, sending waves of pleasure coursing through my body. I gasped at the sensation, my back arching instinctively. Mia's eyes sparkled with a mix of mischief and desire as she leaned closer, her lips grazing my neck. "You're so responsive," she whispered, her breath sending shivers down my spine. Just let go with her touch, igniting a fire within me. I could feel my control slipping away. I gripped her waist, pulling her closer. As she explored me, with an eagerness that matched my own, each brush of her fingers felt like an invitation, and I responded by lifting her shirt, wanting to feel her skin against mine. "God, you're beautiful," I breathed, my hands roaming over her curves as I kissed her deeply. Again, her body pressed against mine, and the world outside faded away. Mia's breath hitched and she leaned into me, her body molding against mine. As our kisses grew more frantic, my hands explored her waist, traveling up to her back, pulling her closer. And she responded with soft gasps of pleasure that fueled my desire. "Let's take our time," she breathed against my lips, a playful glint in her eyes. "I want to savor this," agreed, I replied, my heart racing as our kisses deepened. Hands exploring bodies, intertwining in a dance of desire, I trailed my kisses down her neck, relishing the taste of her skin, and she gasped, tilting her head back. Surrendering to the moment, my hands traveled lower, fingers brushing against the waistband of her pants. Teasingly, "Is this okay?" I asked, my voice low and filled with yearning. "Please," she breathed, her eyes dark with desire. "I want you with that encouragement." I slipped my hand inside her pants, feeling the warmth of her skin beneath my fingertips. She arched her back, pressing herself against me, and I could feel her heart racing in time with mine. But as I deepened our kiss, I felt her hand slide down, slipping beneath the waistband of my pants. Her fingers brushing against me, the contact sent a wave of pleasure through me, making me gasp against her mouth and "Someone's excited," she teased, her voice the sultry whisper that sent shivers down my spine. I pressed my palm against her chest, feeling the rapid beat of her heart beneath her uniform. "You're driving me crazy," I murmured, my fingers caressing her as I kissed her deeply, pouring every ounce of longing into our connection. Her eyes glinted with mischief as she moved her hand, her fingers skillfully exploring, igniting fires of desire in every inch they touched. I felt my breath itch as I pressed more firmly against her, our bodies intertwined in a beautiful chaos of need. "Mia," I gasped, my voice thick with desire. "We shouldn't be doing this." "Then why does it feel so right?" She countered, her breath warm against my lips. the question laced with a playful challenge. I couldn't argue with that. My hands explored her chest, feeling the curve of her body beneath my fingertips. As she continued her tantalizing exploration, the world outside ceased to exist. It was just us lost in the moment, surrendering to the heat of our desire. Just a little more, I breathed. My fingers, definitely working the buttons of her shirt open, exposing the smooth skin beneath. She gasped, her body arching toward me, as I kissed a path down her collarbone. Mia's hands tangled in my hair, pulling me closer as I lost myself. In the taste of her skin, every kiss, every touch, fueled the flames of passion that consumed us, and I could feel the tension building between us, thickening the air until it felt electric. "God, you're intoxicating," I murmured against your skin, my hands roaming over her body, feeling the heat radiating from her. "Just wait until you see what else I can do." She teased, her voice playful but filled with promise. With a surge of desire, I captured her lips again, our mouths moving together in a fervent dance that felt as though it could set the world on fire. My hands found their way back to her waist, pulling her closer as our bodies melted together. The room felt small and intimate, a world of our own as we explored.